Hello students, hope you all are doing well. Today we are going to start our unit number 2, and from unit number 2 we are going to get 2 questions in our board of intermediate exam, that is 2 plus 2. As we are discussing only 2 marks questions, from unit number 2 we are going to get 2 marks questions. On board, how many questions you can find? There are approximately 6 questions, and if you prepare 6, you're going to get 2 questions for sure in your exams from these 6. Now let us start with the first one, that is utility. Many times we have used this term, that is utility. In general, the meaning of utility is satisfaction. Like you are attending to an economics class. Imagine if there is some problem in your connection, your internet connection is weak, then would you get satisfaction from my class? No. Imagine that if the board is not clear, imagine that you are not able to understand my handwriting, then you may not get satisfaction. But these things are not happening. You can see the writing, you can see the class clearly, visibility is there, and you have a good connection. That means you are getting satisfaction from my class. That means in terms of economics, you are getting utility. So the meaning of utility is want satisfying capacity of goods and services. If at all any good or any service is having the capacity to satisfy your want, then that is nothing but utility in terms of economics. Only a consumer can judge the utility. This is a very important point. Only and only a consumer can judge the utility. For example, if you are consuming an apple, so how much satisfaction you got from apple, only you can judge, because you were the consumer. I cannot say like you have got this much of satisfaction, because I am not the real consumer. You have consumed the apple, so you only can judge the utility. So who are you? You are the consumer. What are you consuming? An apple. And what are you getting from it? Utility. That can be judged only by you, not from some third person. So what is utility? We want satisfying capacity of goods and services is known as utility. And only a consumer can judge the utility. Now let us go to the second one, cardinal utility. Utility actually is divided into 2 types. The first one is cardinal and the next one is ordinal. The basic thing, we can discuss these 2 definitions at a time. Like cardinal utility means which you can measure in cardinal numbers such as 1, 2, 3 and so on. So 1, 2, 3 so on are cardinal numbers. Is that clear? And here also this utility can be measured in ordinal numbers, that is 1, 2, 3. Now what is the difference? Here unit 2 will get more satisfaction than unit 3, and here unit 3 will get more satisfaction than unit 4. But you may be getting a doubt like, ma'am, 3 is a smaller number than 4, then how can it get more utility? And also 2 is a smaller number from 3, but how can we get more utility? I'll give you an example. Like there are ranks, like from 1 to 10. Which rank would you like to get in your intermediate? Obviously everyone will say first rank, some will say second rank or third rank, but no one will say 10th rank. Why? It is the highest number. You can choose number 10, but you are choosing the smallest number. From 1, 2, 3, 4, if you get 6th rank, you won't be that happy. If you get 3rd rank, you will be happy. If you get first rank, you will be too happy. Am I right? So, smaller the number, greater the utility. In the same way, from the ordinal numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, unit 2 is having greater utility when compared to unit 3, and unit 3 is having more utility when compared to unit 4. This approach, this ordinal utility approach was supported by Hicks and Allen. What are the names of the economists? Hicks and Allen. The full name of Mr. Hicks is J.R. Hicks and Allen. So, ordinal utility approach was supported by J.R. Hicks and Allen. You can measure your utility in ordinal numbers such as 1, 2, 3, 4. When compared to ordinal utility, you can measure in cardinal numbers. You can measure cardinal utility in cardinal numbers such as 1, 2, 3 and so on. And this approach was given by the economist Professor Alfred Marshall. Is that clear? Number 2 and 3 are finished. Cardinal approach was given by Alfred Marshall and ordinal was given by Hicks and Allen. Let us go to next definition, that is MRS. What is it? MRS, which is nothing but marginal rate of substitution. What is the full form of MRS? Marginal rate of substitution. Like, what is the meaning of substitution? You can use either this good or you can use either that good. I can use either blue marker, I can also use a red marker. So, red marker is a substitute for a blue marker. If you are feeling thirsty, you can quench your thirst either by drinking water or by drinking a juice. So, juice is a substitute for water. Is that clear? So, you know the meaning of substitution. Now, let us see what is marginal rate of substitution. It is an important tool of indifference curve. Indifference curves are something of this kind. You can find IC1, IC2 and IC3. So, these are the indifference curve. So, in order to draw an indifference curve, the important tool is marginal rate of substitution. What is the first point? It is an important tool of indifference curve. Substitution of one good to another good. Here we substitute one good for another good. Like, I can use either blue marker or I can use a red marker. So, I am substituting one good for another good. Or how much one commodity is substitutable for another. For example, I can either drink coffee or I can either drink tea. So, how much one commodity is substituted for another commodity. So, this is nothing but marginal rate of substitution. Next definition is budget curve, line or price line. Now, you might be getting a doubt that, madam, this is a very long question. It's not a long question. It is something like, in exam, if you get budget curve, you need to write the same definition. If you get budget line, you need to get the same definition. If you are getting price line, then also you need to write the same definition. So, it's 3 in 1. Whatever question you get, write the same definition. So, let us see all possible combinations of two goods that a consumer can buy with his given income. Like, whenever we have some fixed income, we do not spend the whole income on one commodity. Why? Because consumer will try to get maximum satisfaction. So, instead of one good, he will buy two goods with his given income. So, whatever all possible combinations of two goods which a consumer can buy with his given income is known as budget line. The sixth one is indifference map. This is the last definition of our unit number 2. Let us see. The set of indifference curves is known as indifference map. What is an indifference map? The set of indifference curves is known as indifference map. Just see the figure over here. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. IC1, IC2, IC3. So these set of indifference curve. IC means indifference curve. So the set of indifference curves is known as indifference map. Is that clear? Then it shows various levels of satisfaction, like IC3 is having the highest satisfaction. IC1 is having the lowest satisfaction. So a set of indifference curve is known as indifference map. So all the 2 marks questions from unit number 2 are completed. You're going to get 2 important questions from our unit number 2. Please note down all the points, understand it, by heart it at least for 10 times, write it at least for 5 times in your notebook. See you in the next classes. Till that, stay home, stay safe and stay healthy.